Ever wonder if the universe is dropping hints about your love life? It might be showing you subtle signs about the outcome of a relationship without you even realizing it. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can raise your awareness to spot these signs so that you don't miss out on an amazing opportunity or cut your losses early on. One of my clients, Maya, met an exciting person and she was unsure as to how the outcome of the relationship was going to pan out. So what exactly did she do? She asked the universe for signs, and what she found is how things were playing out in real life were different than the signs she was receiving from the universe. So who won? Whether the real life play won or the signs from the universe won. Stick around and I'm going to show you that at the end of this video. Hello everybody, I am Vaishali Nikhade. I'm an engineer turned psychic with over 9,000 readings, and I show you how you can leverage the power of stars for your love life. Now this is what you're going to learn in this video. Seeing signs after meeting a person, the action of the person versus the signs, using intuition to trace the outcome of a relationship, and how Maya's story played out. Your goal is to ask the universe to show you signs of a potential relationship when you meet the person so that you don't end up wasting your time on something that is not going to pan out, or on the other hand, you may just discard someone and you may realize that you actually would have had an amazing connection with this person. So it works both ways, and essentially what you can do is leverage the power of signs in order to figure out what the outcome is going to be. So seeing signs after meeting a person. So after you meet a person, essentially you can ask the universe for signs, and Maya asked the universe for signs as well. And in this case, I'm going to take an example where all the signs that she got, they weren't like so good of a sign in terms of predicting the outcome. So for instance, one of the signs she got was that she had milk going bad in the microwave. So she put some milk in the microwave and it went bad. That's a very negative sign. She called a friend of hers and the friend mentioned that someone passed away. Again, a very negative sign. And then the third one was she had like a glass and the glass fell on the floor and it fell apart into pieces. So again, a negative sign. So all the signs that she got about this person, they were all negative signs. And when she saw a series of negative signs, she was extremely concerned because what was happening in real life was completely different than what actually was being conveyed to her through the signs. So when you meet a person, you can ask the universe for signs as to the outcome of a relationship, and then you can see whether you get a series of negative signs or a series of positive signs. And in my next video, I'm covering how many signs are enough in order for you to be able to decode whether the outcome is going to be positive or the outcome is going to be negative. All right, so now we come to the second part where the actions of the person did not match the sign. So obviously Maya was very excited and she was conveying to me what was going on in the relationship since she was working with me. And every time she would talk to him, she would get excited because things were really, really hot in the relationship. And it was very hard for her to understand why me, as an outside person, I didn't have anything to do with the two of them. And I was absolutely neutral, but I was also biased in the sense that I was neutral as to how it would play out, but I was biased because I had already seen how the outcome would play out. And my main goal was to make sure that she wouldn't really invest too much time or get hurt in the end, because everything was pointing to a disaster. So the actions of the person did not match the sign. Essentially, the person was saying all the right things. He was doing all the right things. Everything was so nice. It was hard to believe that maybe in a few days or a few weeks, things were going to fall apart. But that is what my prediction was. And she kind of wasn't so happy about it, but at the same time, since she had been working with me for a while, she was like, okay, we are going to wait and see how this plays out. So that is when the action does not match the signs. So one is the actions of the person and one is the outcome from the signs. And the actions of the person, in this case, they're all positive, and the outcome of the signs, it's all negative. So now you have a conflict. Which one is correct? Whether it's, if they're both yes or both no, it's very easy to come to a conclusion. But if one is yes and one is no, you're like, what the heck? Who is correct? And until actually things actually finally happen in real life, you cannot say, because God always has the last laugh, so you can never be too sure. So after she started working with me, essentially, after a week or so of a very good relationship between the two people, she was very concerned, because she kind of felt whether she should give this her all or whether she should kind of pull back a little bit and see how things play out. And then this is what happened. So she came to me here. So let's say that this is Maya and this is me. Okay. This is me. So she comes to me and essentially everything is playing out here. This is the other person and everything is playing out very nicely between the two of them. And here I am, I'm predicting a disaster in this relationship. So now Maya is confused as to why am I doing such a thing as predicting a disaster. So there's two ways to look at this. One is using your intuition, and then if your intuition is not strong enough, then essentially she sought my help, which is I was kind of using the power of psychic readings, which is like a higher level of intuition, let's say. And essentially I was kind of tapping into things for her and getting her the answers of how things were going to play out. So when she came to me, she was like, okay, I've had too much suspense and now I need to know like why things are going to fall apart. And if she had tapped into her intuition, she would have known the answer as well. And essentially I told her that they need to do this one thing, and when they have this one conversation related to this specific thing, that's when things would fall apart. So the next time she met this person, let's call him P for person. So the next time Maya met this person or she spoke to him on the phone, she brought up this specific subject. So that is what I tapped into with the power of psychic readings, which she could have tapped into with her power, her intuitive senses, or her power of intuition. And essentially, when they spoke about this particular subject, guess what happened? Everything had been so nice between the two of them, and then things started kind of drifting like that. And then after a few days, things actually fell apart. So now she has like, we come to the beginning where she's asking for signs, and then let's come to the beginning. So here she's asking for signs and the signs are negative, and then she's talking to the person and everything is positive. So you have one no here and then you have one yes here, and now because you have one no and one yes, you don't really know whether it's going to pan out in the positive direction or the negative direction. So then essentially what she does is she has this conversation. She has this phone conversation here, and then when she has this phone conversation and they talk about this specific topic, then things fall apart. So what exactly does it mean? It means that the signs were all right all along, and whatever the actions of the person were, even though they may have been genuine, even though they may have been correct, essentially the outcome was not so nice. Now, let's say that you're not Maya, and then you don't really have my help, or you don't really have the power of intuition to help you out. Then what exactly would have happened? Essentially, you would have kind of had this ride along with this person for a long time, and then at the end of this time, whenever that topic came up in the conversation, things would have fallen apart. So what exactly does this mean? That by leveraging the power of intuition, essentially you can save yourself all this time. So all this time that you have over here, all this scribbly over here, which is all the time, you could save all this time and you could break things apart a lot sooner and then move on and invest your time and energy into something else that is going to be more beneficial for you. So now that you know how you can leverage the power of intuition, or how the universe gives you the signs when things are not meant to be, how many signs are actually enough to let you know the outcome of a relationship? Is it 1? Is it 2? Is it 3? Do you need 4? Do you need 5? How many exactly signs do you need? Or how many signs do you need exactly? This is the subject of my next video, and I'll see you in my next video.